Welcome to Technique Tuesdays with the Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County. This is your home each week to stay healthy and to keep your sports skills sharpened. Let's live more, play more.
Hi, welcome back to Technique Tuesday. I'm your host, Rick Peacock. Today we're going to be teaching you quarterback fundamentals. The first thing you want to do as a quarterback is the grip, okay? Now with the ball, you want to make sure you get a ball that suits your hand size. If you're a younger player, they got balls out there like K2s and stuff. Get a ball that you can grab a hold of and you're able to handle. As you get older, you go into a bigger ball and even a high school ball. So the keys to a grip is to use your fingers on the laces. As you can see, I've got my fingers, my ring finger up on the laces and my rest of my hands behind the ball. I can't throw the ball with my hand in the middle of the ball. I have to get it at the back with my point finger at the end of the ball. One of the big components of holding a football is you want to make sure that you have air between the ball and your hand. So as I show you the ball, you should be able to see in between my hand and the ball. You have to have that gap. So that's a good grip right there with your thumb underneath it. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to hold the ball and cup it. And what I mean, if you see a C in your hand, like see how it looks like a reverse C right there? That's not what you want. You want to get your hand underneath of it so it's like a U, so you're throwing the ball out there. You don't want to throw the ball like that. That's called cupping the ball. You want to get your hand underneath of the ball. So the first thing we do is the grip. The next thing we're going to do is work on the actual throwing motion and how to get the ball in position and then exchange our shoulders to throw the ball. So we're going to start with the ball on the ground. Tom's going to put the ball on the ground. He's going to grab the ball, and what he's going to do is he's going to take the ball straight up over his head. And then what he's going to do is he's going to turn his front shoulder, and as you notice when he did that, as he went from this position right here, when he turned his shoulder, the ball automatically dropped into a position of the natural throwing motion. And he's like this, you're obviously not going to throw the ball back here. You got to get leverage on the ball. As he turned his shoulders, automatically his body went in and the ball got behind. You notice what you want to do is make sure that the ball is pointing out to the side. You don't want the ball pointing down. You don't want the ball pointing back. You want the ball pointing right here. You want to try to keep this shoulder flat, okay? So from this point, what we're going to do is we want to do an exchange of the shoulders. He's going to throw the ball, and he's going to release it much like a three throw, and he's going to throw and snap down. But the key component here of driving the ball is taking this back shoulder and exchanging it with his front shoulder. What I mean by that is this shoulder right here is going to turn where the front shoulder comes through. He's going to follow through, and he's going to act like there's a quarter on the ground. He's going to pick it up with his hand. So we'll do it all in one motion, and this is the proper technique of an exchange of a shoulder. So he'll lift it, he'll turn, exchange. We'll do it one more time. He'll lift it, turn, notice that the ball is in perfect position, exchange. Most important thing, as in life, is the follow through. See what he did? He exchanged and followed through with his shoulder. That's a great job. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to stand up and we're going to incorporate this drill from a standing motion. And all I want Tom to do here is I want him to load the ball up. So he's going to hold the ball in this area and he's going to get it into a position that he's going to throw the ball naturally. So he'll load the ball. So it's almost like cocking a gun or a slingshot. He's going to get that ball in a position where he's going to throw it. So we don't want to start from here and bring it back, so he's going to load it. And all he's going to do is from that position, he's going to exchange his shoulders. Importantly, we have the big motion here. You have a rotator cuff and in your shoulder, and you want to rotate your shoulder. A great drill to do to get that feeling is to hold the ball here and go like this and roll your shoulder. You're rotating your shoulder. That's the natural throwing motion. So this right here will show you how to get there, and you'll see Tom rotate his shoulder through and exchange. So he'll load it and he'll exchange and release the ball. One more time, we'll bring it back. Notice where he puts the ball when he loads it. He brings it back to a throwing motion and he exchanges and it comes through naturally. Very good. So the next drill we're going to do is just from a standing position. We have to learn, we learned how to follow through with our shoulders and rotate, but now we want to rotate our lower body, okay? So we're going to call this a bounce, okay? The purpose behind this is we want to put our feet into a position where we're actually going to throw the ball. So you'll see when he does this drill, he's going to have his feet at a position that naturally feels good to him. We call it a base position. Once you get in that base position, you're feeling it with your feet, you'll see Tom plant his foot and open his front foot. That's the trigger to start the throwing motion. So when he's doing that, you'll see him load it and turn his foot, and then he's going to exchange his shoulders. Naturally, when he's exchanging his shoulders, we want to bring our lower body with us. So this drill is, we're working on exchanging our shoulders, but we're going into the next segment of it where we're bringing our hips and our back leg. The key component here is we don't want to leave our hips when we throw, because we'll throw across our body and we'll be inconsistent. So we want to be able to throw and bring our hip and our leg towards our target. The best way to describe it is to take your belly button and take it to your target and finish that way. Once you're finished throwing, you should look down and you should be square to your target. So you'll see him load it up and he'll exchange and follow through. Yeah. Once again, we'll try it again. Notice where he puts the ball, his feet, his trigger foot will open up and he'll exchange. Those are our drills for a quarterback and components for a throwing motion. The next component of the video is our quarterback fundamentals. So up to this point, we've learned how to handle the ball. We've learned some of the drills in order to play the position. We've learned the throwing motion. Now we're going to learn the fundamentals of actually playing the position. The first thing we're going to do is learn how the stance. Every position has a stance and start. Quarterback has a stance too. You'll see Tom set up. Tom turns to the side. Quarterback puts his hands on the table. Whether you're in if it's from under center, he'll have his hands, his elbows are to the side. He's reaching out, okay? Notice this position right here. This is what we call an athletic position. Flat back, knees bent, hips bent. Stand up for a second, break. That position right there is very important. It's amazing what you do from this position. So I'll ask Tom to get in that position one more time. Get in your stance. From this position, you tackle from this position. You block from this position. You play tennis from this position. You play golf from this position. You play defense in basketball from this position. You do so many things in sports from this position. So this is a solid, fundamental position for the quarterback. Feet shoulder width apart, knees over your feet, your back bent, as Tom's showing you, your hands ready to receive the ball. If you're getting it from a shotgun, it's a good position to be in. You don't need to get out as far, but you want to have your hands up ready to receive the ball, but the same athletic position. So that's the stance from the quarterback position. The next thing we were going to do is we want to get our feet together in order to drop in the pass. So we have to establish our push foot. Now, Tom is a left-hander, so his foot that he's going to push off in order to drop back is going to be his opposite foot. For him, it's his right foot. So Tom is going to put 60% of his pressure on his feet on his push foot. If you're a right-handed thrower, your push foot's going to be your left foot. But in this case, Tom's a lefty, so he's going to have his right foot as a push foot. So what we want to do is we want to practice and get away from the line of scrimmage, and we want to push off our foot. So he's going to show you a simple drill of just how to push back and get away from it. It's his first step in getting in the drop, and it's called his drop step. And this right here is how you do that. On the ball, you'll see him drop. Set, ball. Notice when he does it, his weight is on his foot, and as he drops, he's getting depth and getting away from the line of scrimmage. Whether it's a center or you need to get depth away from in order to drop back, that's your first step, and it's called the drop step. Once again, we'll show it again. 60-40% weight on your foot, and with a solid push, get back to get depth. Most importantly, he's staying on that line and he's dropping straight. On ball, Tom drop. Set ball, right on the line. Perfect. Very good. Now, after you get that push foot, in this situation, we're just going to teach you a 3-step drop. So in terms of the footwork, thinking in terms of 1 big step and 2 small steps. And the rhythm of it, if you were trying to understand it through a clap, it will be 1 big, 2 small. Once again, it'll be 1 big step, 2 small. So you'll see Tom take that big step off his push foot, and then you'll see him gather 2 small steps, and they'll end up in that base formation that he ended up when we were exchanging our shoulders, where his feet will be shoulder width apart. We'll always want to work on the drills and the fundamentals we've learned before and build it back into the technique that we're showing you. So we'll walk through this on the first one. He'll give you a good drop step. So on ball, drop step, take your only on 1 step, set ball, drop step, and now you'll see the last 2 steps of the 3-step drop. It'll be 2 quick. Set ball. And he's back into a base position, ready to throw the ball. You get in that position, notice that the ball is he's loaded in the position that he's going to throw, and the trigger to start the position is going to be that front foot, and he'll exchange his shoulders. What we don't want is, we don't want you to take too quick and then reset and come back up. You're trying to get away from the line of scrimmage. So technically, depending on your size and your age, you should get anywhere from 2 to 4 yards away from the line of scrimmage doing this 3-step drop. Once again, it's a 1 big, 2 small, and now we'll do it with the footwork. We'll do it full speed so you can see what it's supposed to look like. We'll do it from the side. Here we go, on ball. Set ball, 1 big, 2 small. Notice that he is in a balanced athletic formation. His feet are not gathered. He didn't have to take a false step. He got to his base, and the ball is in the loaded position, ready to go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate what we've learned so far into an actual throw. You're going to see Tom do the 3-step drop, and at this point, he's going to throw to one side. He's going to show you how he plants his foot and sets his body to throw to a certain side. You'll see his footwork, how he plants his back foot and opens up to his front side, and vice versa on his back side. But the key components, notice that where he's at, he has the ball loaded, and watch as he throws the ball, he uses his trigger foot to get the throw going, and he'll exchange his shoulders. So we'll show you 1 to his strong side, and we'll go over to his opposite side after this. On ball, set ball. Very good. And we'll show you the next side, where he'll drop to his right side and he'll throw. Now, here's the thing. For Tom, throwing to his right is a lot difficult than it is for him to throw to his left. He's a left-handed quarterback, and he's facing that way on his drop. So it's very important when he's dropping, notice that he keeps his shoulder open when he's dropping and he's going to throw to the side. You don't want to drop with your shoulder closed if you're going to your back side. You want to have it open. Vice versa, on a right-handed quarterback, you don't want to close this way in order to go back here. So when you drop, you want to keep your shoulder open. 2 things. 1, it allows you to open up to throw the ball. 2, if you're playing tackle football, there's a defender coming. You need to be able to see that out of the corner of your eye. Closed shoulder, you're sacked. Open shoulder, you can escape. We'll show you Tom throwing to this opposite side. Set ball. Notice the base, good exchange. Notice the shoulders exchange, and he finished balanced, facing his target.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in again and visit the online resource center at pgparks.com, your one-stop shop for arts, fun, fitness, and sports. Let's live more, play more, indoors.